Okay, are you ready?
I am ready.
Hello, welcome to episode 6 of Pure Inward. It's January 20. Oh, fuck. It's February 24th.
We're going back in time.
I am John Sunyo and I'm joined by Derek Uwe.
Up.
You've been playing games since the last episode?
Yeah,
Did you want to start off with that first or the news first?
let's start off with the news first.
All right, so we have from February 18th. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna just read my write up, and then we can talk about it.
Alrighty.
All right. So February 18th, Coral Color announced for the Switch Lite. Nintendo announced a new color variant for the Switch Lite. Beginning on March 20th in Japan and April 3rd in North America, Coral will be available as the first color added to the original lineup of yellow, turquoise, and gray for Nintendo's handheld only system. In Japan, the March 20th release date will coincide with the launch of Animal Crossing New Horizons, which will certainly drive the sales of both releases if history is to repeat itself. Nintendo president Shuntaro Furukawa mentioned in last month's okay, that just sounds weird. Nintendo president Shuntaro Furukawa mentioned in last month's investor Q&A that women make up a high percentage of customers buying the Switch Lite. After Animal Crossing New Leaf was released on the 3DS, the late president and CEO of Nintendo, Satoru Iwata, stated that 56% of people who purchased the game and a 3DS at the same time were female.
Hmm.
Come March 20th, when that new Coral Switch Lite and Animal Crossing comes out, oh yeah, especially with the success of the Switch in general, I bet you this is going to be the most successful Animal Crossing yet.
Nice. I know it's called coral, but it looks like salmon to me.
Well, no one's going to fucking buy it if it's called.
Can I get the salmon light, please?
Yeah, so and then the back is white for mustard.
I want mine fresh caught Alaskan. Sir, this is a tech store? Exactly. Give me the fresh caught switch light.
Fresh cod. Did you say fresh cod?
Fresh caught.
Yeah, this is uh cod on Switch is exclusive to the Switch Lite. So have you seen all four of the colors now? The yellow, turquoise, gray, and coral salmon?
Yeah. I'm still not a fan of yellow. I'm not even that hyped for the coral either. I still like the blue or the gray.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't like the yellow at first, but I do like it now. I would definitely choose yellow over the ones you would choose. Actually, yeah, I think out of all four of these currently, I would choose yellow. And then I think second would be gray. And then third, turquoise.
I just don't like the color pink.
Yeah, I mean, no one wants salmonella.
I don't like the color pink or yellow.
Did you catch that there is an Animal Crossing Direct earlier this week?
Yeah, I was able to watch it, and I
Oh.
was impressed by, God, all those freaking new functions.
Oh yeah. So if you notice, I actually didn't write about it on here, but we could actually still talk about it right now. But the reason why is because I've been doing a deep analysis on the whole thing, on little things that I've caught, such as when you know how when you select your island at the very beginning, you have
hmm
a selection to choose from. If you notice, there are three different shades of green, and
Ooh.
that tells me that there are three different elevations to the island. And so I've just been analyzing every scene and then writing about it because what I want to do is make a video, an actual video, not just an audio, an actual
Got,
video, and then myself talking over things that I've noticed.
gotcha. That'd be nice.
But yeah, we could talk about it since you watched it.
Yeah, I'm impressed. You have a serious control of customization over the island of a lot of things, really.
Yep. Even before they showed off terraforming, I was really excited at the idea of being able to put your furniture outside of your house.
True. Give yourself a sense of a garden or a front porch or yeah.
Yeah, that and the crafting. But yeah, this is exactly what you want in a sequel if you're not going to it, this is a really good example of not really revolutionizing it. Is that the word? Fucking not innovating, but just really refining the franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, this is no Breath of the Wild, but this is a really, really refined version of Animal Crossing. So many things that are just awesome.
Yeah. I especially like that you can control where your I don't know what they're called. The
Villagers.
animals. Yeah, your villagers. There you go. I especially like that you can control where they could set up camp and where they could put up their houses. You can make like a whole like a custard village or sorts, or even like a street lane or a suburb if you wanted to.
I know. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. You can actually make a street.
Yeah, but I'm like, I know I'm not gonna buy the game because I don't have a Switch. But if I did have the game, my first thought would be like making. You said there was different elevations, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, you could even see in the gameplay that
Yeah.
there are some places where they use a ladder.
If you're right about 3 elevations, it's pretty dope to make, like, a hill in the corner, put your house on top, and then your villagers on different elevations.
Oh, you mean your house is the only one that's the highest?
Yeah, and then making the villagers subsequently on different elevations, and you can make waterfalls, which is pretty dope, what I saw.
Yeah. Or you could reenact, what was it, World War One with trench warfare?
You can.
There's so much. Oh yeah, I'm really curious to see if so you could place where the villagers are gonna live. I wonder if you can straight up fucking move their house like in Age of Ultron,
That'd be that'd be crazy.
or not even that. I wonder if you could move your own house.
I think you can. There was, I think, a scene where you can talk to the direct actually, that's true. If you fully build your house, I wonder if you can move it again.
Yeah, if there's just a lot of questions that can be asked without having the game. For example, if you can move your house, or and then if you can move the house, then will it let you move it on a bunch of trees, or do you have to clear out the trees first?
Be kind of funny if it just shows your character carrying your house above your shoulders to be like, I am God.
Oh yeah, and also the in-depth furniture editor, you could drag groups of things on the wall.
That's helpful.
Yeah, I think I haven't played it myself, but after New Leaf, there was I don't know, have you heard of the other game that came out on 3DS, Happy Home Designer?
No, not really.
Okay, so it was a 3DS game that came out after New Leaf, and it was Animal Crossing, but it wasn't a mainline, it was a spin-off where the entire game was just you designing, I mean, it's in the title, designing homes. And then I think you get scored based off of, so you're designing homes for each villager, and then each one has different likes and preferences. So you get points based off of how much they end up liking it. And
Hmm.
I think I didn't play it, but I saw videos of it, and I think I remember that this whole way of customizing your furniture in New Horizons is kind of derived from Happy Home Designer.
Huh. Man, I'm just remembering my old house in Animal Crossing Leaf.
Yeah, probably a shitload of cockroaches and weeds.
Yeah, probably king cockroaches in my bed right now.
Oh yeah, and if you notice in the direct, those motherfuckers need to fucking pull their weeds. There's just everywhere. But the ones that are in the fall,
Hmm.
I don't know what you call those plants. Did you notice those?
Dandelions or crabgrass,
I don't know. They look like wheat, I think.
foxtails.
Yeah, maybe. But they're the cute weeds.
I think it's called Foxtail Millet or something.
Okay, that sounds like it would be called that.
I saw it in an anime. Uh, yeah, I also like that there's a use for the weeds now that you can sell them, and I don't know if you can use it for crafting material, but I know you can do something with them.
Well, only in California though, because it's only legalized in
You son
here
of a-
in Washington.
I was wondering where you're going with this.
Yeah, the little kid in the fucking shop, he's all, "Yes, I'll buy it for $280." I wonder what the conversion into US dollars that is, bells to dollars, because I think he bought it for 280 bells.
You gotta wonder.
Well, that sounds like a lot, cause I think the first mortgage for the house is 98,000 bells. It's also such a huge leap going from 3DS visuals to Switch,
That's true.
because the 3DS was fucking ass. Even when you squeeze the screen really small to make everything sharper on the 3DS screen, it still was ass. Yeah, that's the beauty of having a handheld that's also a really strong handheld. And I feel like if there's one Nintendo game that is perfect, people say this so much. Oh, this is perfect for the Switch. But if there's one Nintendo game that's perfect for the Switch, it's Animal Crossing.
I have no complaints here. Or complaints. I don't have any arguments against that.
You got Zelda. I mean,
It's a couch game.
that's a console game. You don't
Yeah,
want to fucking play Zelda on your phone.
at the bus stop, you miss your bus 5 times because you had to beat this boss.
Yeah, and you got Mario Kart as well. It's nice to do multiplayer, but yeah, basically Animal Crossing is just really good. I really hope this does well because from what we've seen of it, they really deserve it to do well cuz there's fucking 300. Did you see that there's going to be at least 383 villagers?
I did not see that, but that is impressive.
Yeah, it's almost like Pokemon too, because they design their dialogue, their personalities. So excited for this game. I'm so excited for this game. I think the last time I was excited for a game was Red Dead Redemption or Smash, whichever one came out more recently.
Oh, I was interested in the holiday themed guests that came by because I think I saw Halloween and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a really interesting thing, and that's been a topic on online, like on Reddit, because you know how in past games you could time travel. And so people are saying that maybe they're having these updates so that even if you do time travel to Christmas on March 20th, you don't actually see any of the events.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good turn.
So yeah, I'm wondering if you actually could even time travel at all.
I mean, if you have a DeLorean and a very old guy with you with the, I don't know.
But it's also interesting that this is a console handheld hybrid because some people are going to be playing the game. Well, actually, people already did this with the 3DS, but I was going to say that some people are going to be playing only Animal Crossing and never turning off their Switch, but then the game plays in real time. So, yeah, I already know the answer to this because if you're doing a fucking fishing tourney and in the middle of the fishing tourney, you just put your 3DS to sleep and then you wake it up, the tourney is just all of a sudden over. So that's how it takes care of it.
Oh yeah, you know what was really cool? The museum was freaking cool.
Yeah, that's something that would just look like ass on the 3DS, which it did. But
I I
ah,
was impressed, dude. You could see your fossils in like real life size. There's a freaking. It was nice.
yeah, you could even put your a fucking Stegosaurus outside or whatever that was. Yeah, that's crazy.
The aquarium is also cool.
Yeah, I love the aquarium. I really hope I there's so many cool things about this. I feel like if they made the island a little bigger, then that would be cooler because they're giving us so much freedom with things outside of our homes now.
Hmm.
It'd just be nice to do more with it.
The next DLC, you can attach another island to your island.
Oh my god, that would be I would really like for them to support the game. I mean, they said they're going to do free updates, but then all the little icons for the updates just looked like holidays. I'm sure they'll do some free DLC giveaways because I think they did that on the 3DS version. One thing I don't like about it is that so you know how on Wild World, even back on Wild World, you could use the touchscreen to text chat. But on the
Okay.
Switch version, if you want to text chat, you have to do it on the fucking smartphone app.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, that's the only backward step that I'm really seeing. But when Bree and I are gonna be playing, we're just gonna be using Discord anyway, so that's not
Oh yeah,
really
you
a
guys
huge.
can share an island, right? Because
Well, I'm gonna give her my old Switch,
oh,
so
okay,
she's gonna have her own.
okay.
But yeah, she could actually probably just have yeah, she'll be visiting me. She'll probably be visiting me more since I'll probably be playing the game more.
Hmm.
I really want the game to come out.
It will, dear sir. It will.
I wonder if you would like a Switch Lite. If you had the money for it, would you get one?
A Switch Lite or a Switch?
A Switch Lite?
Nah, probably go for the big caboose.
Yeah, anything else that you saw about it? Oh yeah, the helicopter, that was definitely Mr. Rossetti, especially with his music, his theme song.
He was always funny.
They didn't really detail the character creator. I hope it's not that bullshit where they just ask you questions about your personality and then that determines how you look.
That'd be stupid.
Yeah, they did that with up until New Leaf. I don't know if they did that in Wild World, but in
Judging by your answers, I think your nose should be this long. Well, hello, Pinocchio.
even your hairstyle was affected by your answers. Even when you were changing your hairstyle at the salon, you had to look it up online to figure out which answers were the right answers to get the hairstyle you wanted. I hope they just cut the bullshit and just let you fucking choose.
Tell me, do you have difficulty looking at this letter? Oh, you do? Well, here's some glasses. You have to put them on.
No, they'll ask you shit like you're at the mall with your friends. Where do you go first? Ice cream or the department store? They should just let you fucking choose. Also, I hope they just let you outright choose your skin tone. Cause in New Leaf you had to fucking tan yourself if you wanted to get darker. Fucking
Son,
bullshit.
burn me. I'm living a lie as I am now. You must burn me.
Scorpions. I wonder if you can catch the scorpions. Cause who the fuck's gonna catch a scorpion in real life?
That's true. Like some of the bugs seemed lethal, or not lethal. Yeah, lethal. I guess because
Yeah, I
I
think
saw in the
scorpions are lethal.
I saw in the direct you're being chased by tarantulas, bees. So
Yeah. That dumbass tarantula just followed the player into the water. Yep. Coming up really soon. The console itself is coming up a week sooner. What else did I see? Oh yeah, I'll just say a few things that I noticed in my analysis. I don't know if you noticed, but during the winter, the tables outside were made of ice, and then during
ooh,
the fall, the tables outside were made of mushrooms.
hmm,
So I wonder what's up with that. I was saying in my analysis that wondering if you could have an ice table during the fall, or is it just gonna melt? Who knows? Oh, also, if you look at the DIY workbench,
Hmm.
you can see one of the items that you can craft is a fucking ocarina.
I saw that. I thought that was pretty dope.
And then actually just earlier today, there was a Japanese 30-second commercial for Japan where it showed just for 2 seconds the player playing the fucking ocarina. So my question is, can you actually play it, or is it just gonna be when you play it, it just plays your custom town tune?
Or maybe you can activate it and go back in time.
Maybe that's how you time travel. You don't have to change your system clock or get a DeLorean.
The Legend of the Villager, Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Bells.
Paying a mortgage throughout time.
Time is bells. Time is money.
Nook is the new Ganondorf.
Wow. All right. That's all I have on Animal Crossing. Any or unless you have something else about the direct?
I'm
It was a
good.
long ass video.
It was.
I do want to add one more thing, and it's that when they were talking about save backups, they were
Oh yeah.
yeah, did you hear about this?
Yeah, they don't have a cloud.
Yeah, well, okay, so if you subscribe to Nintendo Switch Online, that's how you get their cloud saves.
Hmm.
With Animal Crossing, it's really different. So you can retrieve your save, but only if your Switch has been lost or stolen or broken, I guess. And then they said that it can only be done once. So it's not using the Nintendo Switch online cloud saves, it's using some separate cloud save that only has to do with Animal Crossing. And maybe that has something to do with the fact that Animal Crossing is a game that plays in real time. And so they don't want people doing something and then retrieving their cloud save and then doing the same thing again. I
Hmm.
don't know. But anyway, they said you can only retrieve a backup of your save if you've lost your Switch. And then they said you can only do it once.
Hmm.
So what happens if you lose your Switch a second time? Or what happens if you buy a Metroid themed Nintendo Switch in 2 years when that game comes out and you want to play Animal Crossing on there?
Hmm.
So that's weird. And then I saw on Reddit that Nintendo re-uploaded the Direct, and the only difference that we know of in the new upload was that they got rid of the fine print that said it could only be done once.
Huh.
So some weird shit's going on. We'll find out. Although I don't plan on buying any Metroid themed Switch anytime soon unless it's announced right now, which I highly doubt it. All right. Yeah, do you have anything to say about the save thing?
No, just surprised. Yeah, I was also surprised when I saw at the end of the video that they didn't support the save thing. I don't know. It did catch my attention, but I didn't really pay attention that much.
Yeah, it's really curious. I mean, we don't know what's going on over there, so we can't really criticize them. They must have reasons. But I can criticize them for fucking making you do text chat on a fucking smartphone. All right, so moving on to February 19th, The Witcher 3 on Switch updated with PC cross save. CD Projekt has announced that update 3.6 for The Witcher 3 on Switch is now available. The port, developed by Saber Interactive, originally launched on Nintendo's handheld on October 15, 2019. With version 3.6 coming 4 months later, the game now has numerous graphical options for users to fine tune alongside other new features. Whether it be in favor of visual fidelity or performance, foliage and sharpening each have their respective sliders. Similarly, anti-aliasing, bloom, and depth of field can be disabled outright. As demonstrated by an analysis via Digital Foundry's Thomas Morgan, these graphical options allow The Witcher 3 to run at a markedly increased frame rate while docked. However, the same changes achieve only slight improvements when played in handheld mode. Touch controls have also been added, increasing usability in in-game menus and while playing Gwent. Such a feature is notable on the Switch as even what the fuck is this?
I kind of messed up. I messed up the word when I was going scrolling down. My bad.
When was this?
Just literally right now, I messed up when I was scrolling up and down to my phone.
Okay, so it's supposed to say such a feature is notable. Such a feature is notable. Such a just imagine someone reading live on the teleprompter, and they just go, "What the fuck?" Okay, so it's supposed to say such a feature is notable on the Switch as even some of Nintendo's own first-party titles do not support the feature. But then you fucking change it to such a feature is notable on the Switch as even so in me instead of some. Yeah, because even something like Breath of the Wild doesn't support touchscreen controls, not even
Hmm,
for navigation, menus.
hmm.
Yeah. So continuing, perhaps the most notable aspect of Update 3.6 is the ability to transfer saves between the GOG and Steam versions of the game. As the only portable version of The Witcher 3, the Switch port is the technically weakest among the three major consoles. However, with the implementation of cross saves to PC, the drawback balances out and serves to complement the game between two different platforms. Update 3.6 follows The Witcher 3 exceeding its highest concurrent player count on Steam since its release in 2015, and the premiere of Netflix's adaptation of Sapkowski's short stories and novels in late 2019.
Hmm.
Yeah, you play The Witcher 3.
I do indeed.
I have a Switch. Let's talk about it.
Have you ever? I know you've tried it, but not for long, right?
Yeah, on PC. My first experience with The Witcher was with 2, and I didn't really get far in the tutorial because of all that big ass wheel, the magic wheel. It was
Hmm.
really complex for me. And then I tried Witcher 3 when that came out. I didn't really get far either in that. I just don't, at least those two times it wasn't really for me.
I feel you. It can be daunting. It is an uphill learning curve to face. I think I like stopped playing when I played Witcher 2. I stopped playing after dying on a regular side quest. I underestimated the difficulty in the game.
But you can change the difficulty?
Yeah. In the second one, the first thing you ever do is fight a bunch of monsters. Depending on how well you do, it determines the difficulty of the game. I did poorly. Even after it told me all the instructions, I'm like, wait, what? And then it just threw me in a battle that I got killed instantly. I think I got put into normal or I think normal.
Hmm.
But even in that difficulty, I still died because I was just ill prepared. I was expecting a normal RPG. I wasn't expecting you to actually pay attention to the details.
I wonder how much it has to do with them being a European company as opposed to someone like Bethesda.
Yeah. But honestly, I didn't grow to love their brand because after preparing and reading up on the monster I was fighting, I just got attached to the lore,
Hmm.
just the atmosphere, the world building. I don't know, I just felt smarter when I actually beat the side quest.
Yeah, I hear those side quests are really substantial, so I imagine that they are rewarding. But the only other game that I know of that supports crossplay between Switch and something else is
Hmm.
Divinity Original Sin 2.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that one is only with the Steam version though. I know with Witcher, it's for between Steam and GOG. Have you heard of GOG?
I have not. This is the first time hearing it.
It's basically short for good old games. It's another PC platform like Steam or Origin or Uplay where you
Oh,
just buy games. It started out as a place to buy old games. That's why it was called Good Old Games. A place to buy old games that you could run on modern operating systems because there are some games that you can only run on older operating systems. I'm not really familiar with it, but interestingly, GOG is actually owned by CD Projekt Red.
hmm.
And the difference between GOG and Steam also is that Steam is a form of DRM. So you have to connect online in order to play the game. Whereas GOG, once you buy a game on GOG, you don't have to be online ever to play it. It just uh lets you play it.
Hmm. Nice.
No DRM. But I imagine that opens it to the possibility of you just giving it to your friend. But I guess that's just if that's the case, it's just up to what do you call it? Your honor.
Code of conduct.
Code of conduct? No, that I don't think you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Up to you to be honest. All right. So moving on,
Hmm.
Sony forgoes PAX East. On February 13th, Sony revealed that they would be participating in PAX East 2020, with The Last of Us Part 2 playable to attendees. The Boston, Massachusetts event would have marked the first time by which PS4's major spring release could be played by the public. Nearly a week after the initial announcement, Sony stated that they will no longer have a presence at PAX East in light of growing concerns with COVID 19. The original blog post was revised, saying, "We felt this was the safest option as the situation is changing daily. We are disappointed to cancel our participation in this event, but the health and safety of our global workforce is our highest concern." Minutes after the update, Naughty Dog took to Twitter to express disappointment in the cancellation, stating, "Although we know this makes the wait until May 29th a bit harder, we appreciate your understanding. Don't worry, we'll have more to share closer to launch." With the PS5's approaching holiday season release, it remains to be seen whether The Last of Us will be playable to the public at all before launch day.
Hmm. It's disappointing, but understandable.
Yeah, and they're not the only ones. Kojima Productions, they're not attending. I think it's GDC that they're not attending, which is supposed to take place in San Francisco, I think in February or March, I forgot. I think there was a fighting game tournament that was just canceled today.
Oh.
Facebook is not going to GDC. I think it was GDC. Yeah, Facebook's not going to some shit. But just basically this whole thing is really putting a winch in people's gears. And I think I saw there's no cure for the disease, no antiviral cure at least at this moment. I don't really know the field enough to guess as to when that would be a possibility. But video games as an industry are a global business. So I mean, there's a fucking chance that on March 13th when I get that Animal Crossing Switch, I fucking contract a novel coronavirus.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, because so much shit is manufactured in China. I mean, I think that's unlikely because I know that they were delaying pre-orders of the Animal Crossing Switch due to concerns over the novel coronavirus. So I just hope that they are just handling this well, which it seems like some people are. Like Sony pulling out of PAX, other companies pulling out of GDC and PAX. But you know what will be playable at PAX?
What will be playable
Animal
at PAX?
Crossing. Also, why would you demo Animal Crossing is a slow burn kind of game. Why would you demo it?
That's true. Why would you demo it?
Unless you're demoing the new stuff like terraforming or some shit.
Yeah, like a demo version, not the actual.
If you're fucking going to PAX East to fucking catch a fish and sell it, what the fuck are you doing there?
I want to talk to this villager. Sir, you're holding up the line. I want to talk to this villager. Sir, it's not available in the dev version. I think I can invite it. Just give me a second.
All right. So this is the final piece on in the news. I think this is definitely the biggest one. Smart delivery between Xbox One and Series X is Microsoft's cross-buy. On the official Xbox website, head of Xbox Phil Spencer relayed additional features relating to the Series X. Further technical specifications were divulged alongside support for 120 frames per second, a quick resume feature, and a cross-buy business model called Smart Delivery. As a result of an SSD, Microsoft's upcoming console will support Quick Resume, a suspended state for multiple games that allows users to switch between instances of at least two games without having to go through already improved load times. However, it is unclear as to how many individual sessions will be supported and if the feature will be available in every title.
Uh,
In regard to the transition between Xbox and Xbox Series X is smart delivery. Phil Spencer explains, "We're making the commitment to use smart delivery on all our exclusive titles, ensuring you only have to purchase a title once in order to play the best available version for whichever Xbox console they choose to play on. This technology is available for all developers and publishers, and they can choose to use it for titles that will be released on Xbox One first and come to the Xbox Series X later."
oh,
Less than 2 hours following Phil Spencer's news post, the official Cyberpunk 2077 Twitter revealed that the game will indeed participate in the feature. Cross-buy business models such as smart delivery sheds light on the line between current and next generation and how the two relate in terms of backward compatibility. It points to the possibility that the Series X version of a previous title will be more than mere emulation of an Xbox One hardware, or the Series X version of a game like Cyberpunk could simply be running the Xbox One version at no extra charge. Adversely, developers and publishers may instead choose to charge customers for remastered ports of older games.
hmm.
In a conversation with MCV, head of Xbox Game Studios Matt Booty confirmed that, sort of like PC, their releases will play up and down Xbox One and Series X for up to 2 years, illustrating the upcoming console transition as fluid and pro-consumer should it come to fruition. Sony previously implemented a cross-buy program for select PS3 games transitioning to PS4. For instance, Journey was ported to PS4 more than a year into the console's life with an improved 60 frames per second. With the holiday release window approaching for Sony and Microsoft's next gen consoles, the announcement puts the ball in Sony's court. This is a really good move on Microsoft's part. They're doing everything right. I mean, they also have all the first party studios that are undoubtedly making shit even though we don't know about it, and they're doing everything right on the business side too.
Yeah, I like the idea of smart delivery. I remember but rebuying GTA 6 or 5. Why do I keep saying 6?
What?
GTA. I remember rebuying
Did you
GTA
have the
5.
Ocarina of Time?
Yeah, I remember rebuying it for the PS4 when my friends switched consoles. I originally had it on Xbox 360.
I feel like Rockstar wouldn't do that because they know people would buy it without batting an eye.
True. But that's kind of cool. You don't have to. be hesitant to buy some titles if they do smart delivery.
Yeah, that actually answers the question. I mean, if you have an Xbox One X and then you want to play Cyberpunk on launch day to avoid spoilers and shit, and then you want to play it again, maybe just make different choices when the Series X comes out, with 120 frames per second, 4K, and that'll be nice to do it at no extra charge.
True.
Yeah, like Matt Booty said in that interview, they're not going to be making any games that are only on Series X for at least a year or two. So you could feasibly get an Xbox One X today and get a good use out of it for a year or two before jumping to Series X. But at the same time, I feel like this kills the excitement of the idea of a new console if you're just sticking with the old console because there's no reason to get the new console. Unless the difference between Series X and Xbox One X playing Cyberpunk 2077 is big enough to make you want to do that, I don't see why you would.
The quick resume feature, I'm not sure.
What do you mean?
I don't think I would. A suspended state for multiple games that allows users to switch between instances of at least two games. I don't know.
I think it's better than I think it's nice to have the option because for me, I would if the Switch had it, one of the games that would be suspended would always be Smash. And then the other game would be maybe the new Zelda whenever it comes out. It's nice because whenever we play Apex, from the moment we turn on our PS4, even if the PS4 itself is on rest mode, we still have to go through all the splash screens, and it would be nice to just jump in.
Yeah, you're right. It's good to have the feature available. I guess I'm just like, whenever I play a game, I only focus on one game. I can't juggle multiple games.
Are you talking about multiple narrative games? Because I know something like Slay the Spire, that's something you could juggle mindlessly.
Yeah, I guess you can. I'm just not really. Yeah, I
Mm.
always focus my all into one game. I can't multitask that well.
Well, yeah, I know I'm really happy for that feature. I can't remember if Sony has said that they're gonna have something like that as well. I know that they're gonna be using an SSD instead of a hard drive in their new console. The thing is, SSDs are expensive relative to hard drives, so that's gonna cost them to include it into the console. So, and then at the same time, games are just getting bigger. Red Dead Redemption 2 on PS4 on current generation is 100 gigabytes or around there.
It was a massive.
So how are they gonna be able to fit a solid state drive that's not gonna go up to capacity after 10 games while keeping the cost low? I know that they could easily do, I don't know, a 2 terabyte if it's still a hard drive. But if they're doing solid state, because okay, let's just do a really quick Google search on Amazon, 2 terabyte SSD for a PC. So a 2 terabyte SSD, let's see, it ranges from 200 to 230 to 280. The popular one is Samsung. Those are $230. Oh no, the one with the most ratings is $280. Yeah, I just don't think when I hear people talking about the new storage options in the next gen consoles, they keep mentioning hard drive, but they're not using a hard drive. They're using flash memory that is an SSD. And flash memory is expensive, especially with it being in high demand. You remember in that article, the reason why they're having a hard time keeping the price of the PS5 below 500 is because one of the parts, the flash memory, is in high demand. And when something is in high demand, the manufacturers can just raise the price because everyone wants it.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I'm willing to bet $20 that the new consoles are gonna have a 1 terabyte SSD
Hmm,
at most. So yeah, we got quick resume. You said you don't see yourself getting much use out of it. We got smart delivery. You and I both really like that. Although I really hope PS5 does that because
same.
we are in the PlayStation ecosystem. Anything you have to say about this?
Nope.
Oh yeah, and then I put at the bottom that the okay, I don't know shit about technical specifications, but the Series X GPU supports 12 teraflops, which is more teraflops than Nvidia's GPU, the RTX 2080 Super. And then if you want to buy one of those, the 2080 Super, that starts at $700. So if you keep that into consideration, that what the Series X has is stronger than a $700 card. Yeah, dude. I mean, consoles are a really nice deal for if you just want to jump in at an affordable price. Whatever it is, it's definitely going to be less than 700. It's probably going to be 4 or 500. Probably 500. Oh shit. I almost closed it. So that's it for the news up until for episode 6 up until February 24th. Why don't we get into what we're playing?
Alrighty.
I'll let you. Oh shit, you edited this in the doc. I see you. So at first you put Metroid Zero Mission, Rage Quit, Final Boss maybe, and then now next time I looked at it, you put in all caps. Never mind, beat that shit. Yeah.
That literally just happened today.
Okay. So yeah, why don't you talk about Metroid first?
Okay.
Is this your first Metroid that you've played?
No, I think I've played Metroid. It's the one with the dark suit. Where,
Oh, on Wii,
yeah, I think I
right?
played on Crew Jonas's Wii, the Metroid game.
Oh, the Dark Suit? I think that's 2, Metroid Prime 2.
Oh, was it two?
Because you go between light and dark worlds.
Yeah.
Well, this is the traditional Metroid, Metroid Zero Mission, the 2D level design.
Yep.
Um, what was up with that boss?
Okay, the boss wasn't the final boss. The one I got stuck on and rage quitted. And I kind of understand now why I was having such a difficult ass time with it. Apparently, I skipped out on a lot of upgrades to my suit that could have made the boss a lot easier. I think that's the reason why it was so fucking hard.
You mean in terms of energy tanks?
That would also help, but mostly just legit upgrades to the suit that would make it easier, like complete resistance to lava. Uh,
Oh, the Varia suit.
yeah, and not the various suit, the upgrade version of the various suit. I think if there
Oh,
is one.
gravity suit?
Yeah, that one.
Wait, that's weird. How did you I don't really remember the game much. I only played it once, I
Okay.
think 15 years ago. But how did you get to that boss without that upgrade? You can actually skip the upgrade?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I skipped upgrades and made it to the boss early, or I don't know. I'm like confused too, buddy. I just know I was able to beat the boss and progress. But okay, one sec. Let me first say I do love Metroid Zero Mission. It's actually pretty fun. I enjoyed the progression. I enjoyed looking for the items. I do admit I got stuck a couple of times because I didn't know where to go or what to do. But all you had to do was backtrack and then
Bomb everything.
pretty much every room I went into my morph ball and bombed the floor. Look how there were so many hidden compartments and so many things. I'm just like, motherfucker, you couldn't even tell. I did learn. Okay, there was a unskippable obstacle that you get stuck in, where you like fall a great distance and you're stuck at the bottom. And I didn't find the secret compartment for a while, and I was getting frustrated. So I My thought was, maybe there's a way with what I have right now that I can go back up. And I know this skill is not something you're supposed to know, but there is a way to infinitely climb with the morph ball in the bottom.
You can infinitely climb with the you can infinitely
Yeah.
jump with it?
There, if you time it right, you can literally infinitely climb with it.
That reminds me of trying to go over the mountain in Skyrim as opposed to just fucking around.
Exactly, that's I I thought that's what you were supposed to do, but then I found the right way, and I'm like, "Oh, I happened upon something secret."
That's weird because I understand Metroid games to be very handcrafted to where so it feels like you can go you could go backtrack to every place you want to, but the way that it's designed is supposed to be that you only reach a place only if you have a certain item for it.
You're correct. You are very correct. Even though I knew this trick, some parts of the game wouldn't let me progress because they would place enemies in spots that would knock me off, or there were blocks that couldn't be entered from the bottom. They had to go only from the top. That's how I couldn't jump out of that pit, even though I did know the trick to infinitely climb. But it didn't prevent me from getting things that I wasn't supposed to. Like, I remember at one point where the map was trying to lead me to a part of the to a certain X section, but I realized a part of the map wasn't explored yet, so I thought, "Ah, maybe there's a secret upgrade here or something." But I hit a wall, and there's a little opening in the top. I'm like, "I can't reach that. I don't have that upgraded jump, or even with my upgraded jump, I couldn't reach that, but I can climb it." So I activated another story marker that wasn't supposed to be activated, and so it led to a different route. And then I don't know. I don't know if that messed it up for me because that
Hmm.
second boss was so much harder than it should have been.
I don't really remember the game much, but yeah, I guess it's possible that that game didn't have as much strict guidance for the player. Or
Yeah,
not strict
th-
guidance, but strict boundaries.
it's true. Some levels were designed where even if you knew the trick, you would always get pushed back, but sometimes it would go through.
Yeah, so I wonder how speedruns of the game look like then.
Fucking crazy. The speed in that game is fast, dude.
You get the speed boots in there, right?
What do you mean? Oh yeah, the speed. Yeah, yeah. When you continuously run, you become like freaking Flash.
Did you say you come like the Flash?
you
Oh,
you
you
run like
become.
yeah. There you go. Anyway, do you mind if I tell you what the second boss was stuck on, or
Oh, go ahead, because I played it before. I just forgot about it.
okay? The second boss I got stuck on was the freaking brain.
Oh, Mother Brain.
I swear to God, that was so annoying. I even beat it wrong, not wrong, but I beat it in a very cheap way. I just kept spamming missiles and taking the damage.
Hmm.
I was just every time I always get hit by something. Either it would be by the projectiles that goes through everything and come at a very slow pace, or the turrets that kept shooting the platforms, the only platforms you could stand on.
Oh yeah, those fucking like you're a fucking flamingo.
Yeah, and then there's lava at the bottom, and there's only 3 spots you could actually stand on, and
Hmm.
those spots are constantly being aimed at and shot at, and there's lava in the ground. So, I just kept getting hit. Like I had to accept the fact I'm going to get hit. I'm going to get knocked off this platform multiple times. I'm going to be burning alive, and I have to be okay with that.
Did you play the game with save states, or did you try to play it legit?
I tried to play legit, and then yeah, actually, I kept playing it legit, and I used the save states as well, like in the save rooms.
Hmm. That's a cool way to try it out first, just to see how it was designed.
Yeah, it was designed well.
But then I feel like if you were to play it again, I feel like definitely do a save before the boss fight.
The last boss was a. It wasn't hard. It was easier than the second boss, which I got. I wasn't mad at. I was just like, God damn it! The second boss was just a pain in the ass.
That is actually Super Metroid is actually the sequel to the original Metroid, to where
Huh.
actually the at the beginning of Super Metroid, somewhere near the beginning, you actually pass the area where you fight the Mother Brain.
Oh. Oh yeah. I played a little bit at the beginning of the Super Metroid.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm playing it right now.
It felt slower.
Yeah, it came out. It did come out before. So the design is definitely different.
Yeah, I enjoy Super Metroid Zero Mission more, just because it's faster and the jumps didn't feel so slow.
But I feel like there's historical value in there's a whole genre named after that game, Metroidvania.
Yeah, and the design of the levels are more cleaner, and it just looks more nice.
Also, the nice thing about the SNES version over the GBA version is that you have four face buttons.
That's true. Yeah.
So you know how you could assign buttons on on the emulator? I feel
hmm
like it would be cool to play it in a modern. What do you think about doing this? So I know you're playing with saves the legit way, but what do you think about assigning shoot to one of the shoulder buttons?
I don't think I could do it.
Really?
Yeah, because I kept spamming the shoot button, and I don't know. Like, I feel like it's easier to press the face button than actually constantly pressing the trigger because I'm not using the thumbstick to aim. So
Yeah, you got to use the shoulder buttons to aim to aim diagonally.
yeah, and that is important. So I don't think I can do it with the triggers.
Yeah, so far in Super Metroid, I think I've gotten up to the can't really remember the order, but I have the high jump, I have the various suit. Do you have any of those?
Oh no, I just started the beginning of Super Metroid. I started today, right after I finished Zero Mission.
Oh, okay. So you definitely can tell the difference between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you think about Metroid Zero Mission?
It was very fun. I enjoyed the layout of the missions. I enjoyed the areas. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I just got a little bit annoyed by all the secret stuff. Even the important stuff I guess it was hard to find direction. I don't know if I messed it up because of the secret trick I found out, or it was just hard to find direction sometimes, and I got lost of what to do or where to go.
Yeah, I feel like the general idea with those games is to try to, once you get a new power, to just explore the places that you haven't filled out in the map yet.
Yeah,
Because that game is so much backtracking, those kind of games.
I really wish it would warn me though before the second final boss, because then I wouldn't have entered. I would have explored everything and got made it so much easier. But no.
It tells you the percentage that you got on the collectibles, right?
Yeah, I got 66% items collected. So
Oh,
I
okay.
know I missed a lot of shit.
I think that's better than me. I think when I beat it, I had something like 40%.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
What was your runtime?
6 hours or something.
Wow, 6 hours, 66%? Wow.
Yeah, I know. Right? I just know there's a whole area of the map I didn't explore because I didn't find the item, and it was the yellow door. I couldn't open it
You beat the game without opening the yellow doors?
in the first map. The second map, I you couldn't exactly skip it. But yeah, the first map, there was a whole area of the map I didn't explore because I didn't have the power up. So I think I skipped a chunk.
Uh, I wonder if you would have you played any of the Castlevania games?
I think I started playing one, but I didn't finish it. Again, Koei Genesis DS. I even played the hacked version.
The Game Boy Advance and the OG DS Castlevania games, those are really good. Those are the same style as Super Metroid. And also they don't have you fucking rolling around in a bomb in a ball looking around for secret
God, that annoyed the crap
passages.
out of me.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them in Super Metroid. That's just how it is.
Dude, you should have seen a playthrough of me when I was stuck at the bottom of the fucking pit. I was just shooting everything, bombing everything, and then I infinitely climbed several times to try to reach the top, only to find out that it's blocked.
All right. So what's the next on here? We both have played the Dungeon Drafters demo.
Yes, we have.
I think I only gave it about 10 minutes because I didn't really like it. It didn't gel with me.
Oh,
It looked interesting from the little teaser video, but what did you think?
I enjoyed it. I like the tactical sense and how you can preemptively strike enemies without actually entering the battle. But I'm wondering if it's just because it's a demo. I didn't feel very much variety from the cards, though it's possible because my game crashed. I didn't finish it all the way through, so I'm not sure. I am still intrigued by the idea though. Kill monsters, get new cards from the dungeon, and come back. I had fun.
Yeah, so Dungeon Drafters, it's a grid-based game where you have something like 3 moves and then you can attack somewhere in between those or use one of your cards somewhere in between or at the end of that.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then there are enemies on the grid as well, and you can do different things like one of so I think your hand only consists of 3 cards, and then one of the cards, for example, can transport an enemy from one place to another. So that'll be nice if you previously had used a trap card to set up a trap, and then you use the teleport card to teleport an enemy onto the trap. That's kind of how the game is, just card-based dungeon.
Yeah. I actually discovered that exploit. It was kind of funny. Before the start fight and we began, I would just use traps and teleport enemies onto them and make them my ally. Or if I already have it, or if I already have an ally, it instantly kills them. So I'm like,
It instantly kills them.
yeah, if your ally count is maxed out before the battle, it instantly just makes them disappear. I wanted an army of people of enemies behind me, but I guess they nerfed it. And in battle, you can ally as many monsters as you can, but once the battle's over, you're sucked down to the first one you ever befriended.
So what was the highest that you had in a battle?
Three. After that, there's friendly fire, so you can kill your allies by accident or
When you attack them, do they snap out of it?
no. But the friendly AI is kind of stupid. They keep aiming at me, dude. Like one ally, when he aims at me, it's fine because he's summoning a friendly slime to protect me. But when the freaking frogs throw poison at me, I still get affected by the poison. So I'm like, you dumbass, stop it.
That sounds like Pokemon level AI.
It's just they're stupid, dude. But I also like the idea that some of the attacks you do affect the environment, like Earth Spike. It doesn't just go away. It can be used as cover or wall.
Oh, yeah, I used that, but I didn't know you could use it as cover.
Yep.
Can you destroy it? Can the enemy destroy it?
Oh, I haven't tried destroying it yet. I just know it's like stuck there. You can't destroy it yourself like the other pieces of environment. But I thought that was interesting. The cards seem like they want you to do combos. They just always want you to have some type of chain going on. Because if you kill someone with the lightning skill, it lets you keep doing it until it doesn't kill them. But even then, it's just I felt the lack of variety, and the enemies started to be boring because it's just the three types.
Yeah, I got bored pretty fast of it just because of the design. I didn't really like the design.
Well,
But I
hopefully,
hmm?
I said hopefully the full game has more cards, more variety of enemies, and yeah.
I think the design is fine. I'm sure if they work on it to include more enemies, more cards, and just polishing it, I'm sure it'll be interesting to other people.
Hmm.
I did play a demo for this game called One Step from Eden. It's a really interesting game. So this is another card-based game,
Hmm.
but it's action. It's an action. It's not even partial action. It's fucking action. And then there are also cards. So how do I describe this? It's the tile based, but it's tile based as in like a chessboard. And by that I mean a chessboard has a finite amount of tiles, you know. This one, I feel like it's something like 5 rows and then let's say 15 columns or 16 columns. The 8 columns to the left half are yours, and then the 8 columns on the right half are the enemies. And you can move anywhere on the 8, and then the enemies can move anywhere on the right. And so you're both shooting each other. So you have this auto attack. It's basically just a machine gun or a full auto weapon. And you always have two abilities, two cards, and you press on the PS4 controller. I think you press X to use the left ability and circle to use the right ability. And then once you've used both of them, you draw two cards again, and then those are two other abilities that you have. And then the enemies, when they're attacking you, it shows, you know how in boss battles, when an enemy is gonna drop a bomb on you, it'll show that, for example, it'll show a red X on where the bomb is gonna fall.
Hmm.
The combat is basically that entirely. So the enemies will be constantly bombarding you, and there's constantly X's all over your side where some of them are empty, so that's where you have to go to dodge it. And then
Hmm.
once they have to take a breather from firing, that's when you attack. Sometimes they'll attack you in a straight line, so you just gotta go up one tile or one down tile, or sometimes they'll attack you in a little whirlpool, so you have to go in circles around it, to avoid their attacks. It's really cool. Some people are I've never played Mega Man, but some people are saying the graphics are like Mega Man Battle Network or whatever it's called.
Huh. I'm looking at images right now.
Oh yeah, so you see the grid?
Yeah, I see the grid. That's interesting. So there's no turns, it's just constantly moving.
Yeah, it's constantly moving,
Oh,
but it is card based in that the your abilities depend on the two cards that you draw.
huh. Interesting. You played the demo, or did you?
Yeah, it's only in demo form, but
Oh,
it's actually being published by Humble, which is the same publisher for Slay the Spire.
oh,
And I think that it's being made by one guy. I forgot his name, but he's a young dude.
made a nice game.
Yeah. And there's, I think, also plans for 6 characters, so nice variety if you want to keep playing but are tired of one character.
Nice, nice, nice.
Yeah, so that's basically it for me. Just Super Metroid, Dungeon Drafters, and One Step from Eden. And you have one more that's listed on here. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, Space for the Unbound. We talked about it a while back.
Yeah, that Indonesian game.
I played the demo or prologue. I don't want to spoil it, but it's just like it ends with you just wondering if it happened. It just ends with you wondering if it's going to make an appearance in the story or not. You do get a look into the tone of the game and how it plays out. I am interested.
Oh yeah, so for those, if anyone's listening who doesn't know Space for the Unbound, it's this pixel art adventure game, right?
Hmm.
Kind of like in the vein of what would you compare it to? Which adventure game?
It's been a while since I played like a.
Well, if people don't know what adventure games are, it's basically stuff like Walking Dead, Life is Strange, Day of the Tentacle, Grim Fandango, or Gone Home, different kinds.
Yeah, it's a point and click adventure without the clicking.
Yeah, that's what I forgot to say. Point and click
Yeah,
without the clicking.
pretty much. It's just a side. It's a side scroller adventure game. Night in the Woods. That's a
Yeah.
yeah. The tone feels kind of similar, except Space and Firmbound's more. No, no, the tones are pretty similar. There's even a supernatural aspect, so they both are similar. It's definitely there. I was wondering with this. I like the beginning of the game. I'm like, what's supernatural about this? And then I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's definitely supernatural.
The supernatural part is probably where it gets its title.
Yes and no. It's definitely supernatural, and the title does reflect it, but it also does reflect what's going on in the plot. And
What's the synopsis?
that's a good question. I didn't read it.
Or what would you say it is based off of the prologue?
Like I said, I don't know if the prologue is going to be included in the game because. Do you mind if I just say it? Like it is just a prologue.
Yeah, go ahead.
The ending of the prologue is with you waking up from a dream. So I'm not sure if it's a dream, a vision. I'm not sure. I really want to play the game to find out. Because I don't know if it's either a dream, B, a memory, C, a vision.
Or
Because
D, an SSD. Memory.
because in the prologue, you die.
So when you die, you wake up from the dream?
Exactly. But I was like, the dream, it really felt like you died. I'm like, shit. Do I? Because there's another character with you that you're talking to, a little girl, and you're like a friend of hers, just supporting her. She's like going through a tough time, and you're helping her write a book.
Maybe when you die and you wake up, that's just you in the afterlife.
That's what I'm also thinking too. There's another option. You could have died and like maybe you have another chance to change everything, or maybe this is just the afterlife and that's it. I am confused, but I am very intrigued, and it is definitely emotional. You feel for the girl. You feel empathy because she talks about her. She doesn't talk about it, but there's a magical way to see her insecurities about releasing this book, and she's withholding ideas. You even see some wrath in her, like in her story, because their story was ends on like a bittersweet note that they're making. But originally, her design for the story was something more melodramatic and just wrathful because this is a reflection of what she's like going through, and you feel for it, man.
Hmm. How are they related?
I don't know. It's not ever said in the prologue, but I'm assuming it's not by blood. It's more a friendship type deal.
I'm wondering if you don't really know about her. Maybe she's just made up.
That's also an idea. Ah, this game.
So the quality of the game, does it feel like, I mean, I didn't really see anything. All I saw was that screenshot and it looked good.
Hmm.
But does it feel like this is amateur?
No.
For reference, I feel like Dungeon Drafters felt a little amateur. You know, the way that she walked, she just hopped and everything.
Yeah, but that doesn't feel amateur because there's an ability apparently to go into people's minds or whatever. It's something to do with the red book, but it felt really beautiful in a way.
There's a lot of work put in the game.
I feel like it is. The puzzles weren't that hard for the prologue, but it's just a prologue. I got more story content and more atmospheric tone from the prologue than that's supposed to do. You know, to introduce you to the game to grip you.
I wonder when it's coming out.
I am intrigued and I am really want to play it. I'm also interested in the puzzles, see if they get more difficult or more.
How did you like the puzzles?
They were simple. They weren't that difficult, but I enjoyed solving them. And the puzzles kind of led to more of an understanding of who you're solving them for. Like two things. The first introduction into the ability to go into people's minds was with the little girl. You're supposed to find the ending that she wanted to write, and you go through her subconscious, and you see a bunch of kids like making fun of her, or it's just her insecurities personified.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the puzzle, it wasn't really a puzzle, it was just an introduction. So you just found the page on the end of the corridor, and the second time you use it is with an overworked security guard who just wants to sleep, and you have to silence all the noise that happened in his dream.
Damn.
Yeah,
This game sounds like it has a lot of anguish.
yeah. It just I like it. I like the idea that you would meet random characters and you go in their mind, seeing what's going on with them, see if you the characters would be more in depth that way.
I have the synopsis here for the prologue.
Oh, go for it.
An upcoming slice of life adventure game with beautiful pixel art set in the late 90s rural Indonesia that tells a story about overcoming anxiety, depression, and the relationship between a boy and a girl with supernatural powers. So the girl is the one with the powers?
Like I said, I'm not sure. The only thing I supernatural what I saw was the overcome of the death at the ending and a red book that they both apparently know about. But I'm so interested.
Yeah, when the hell does this game come out? I'm looking at the Steam page. It says coming soon. It doesn't even have a release year.
Aw,
I guess that means I see the first I see a GIF of it, so I'm seeing it in motion for the first time. Yeah, it looks like a lot of shit was put into it.
yeah. Yeah, I'm not coming for this game for puzzles. I'm coming for this game for story and feeling.
Yeah, I should try it out sometime. I'm not too keen on trying it out, but it does look interesting.
It's short though. Yeah, it's short. Just talk with everyone you meet, and you'd probably knock it out in 15 minutes, 20.
Oh, that's hella short.
Yeah, it's a teaser, dude. It's just to get your attention. It got my attention.
Hmm. This kind of reminds me of another game called The Friends of Ringo Ishikawa.
I don't know that one.
They're very different styles, but they're different and the same in separate ways.
Friends of Ishikawa.
Yeah, I'll just send this to you and you can take a look whenever.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at the images right now. I see what you mean. Wait, this is a beat 'em up game.
Yeah, but there's a lot of Second Life stuff in it.
Oh man, I remember this look, the old delinquent Japanese look.
Yeah. In their fucking uniform, not going to school.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it other than the what the fuck you call it? The combat. So yeah, anything else for this episode? I think we're just about done.
Yeah, the only thing I have to add is that I finally finished a run with the Ironclad and Slay the Spire.
Who's that one?
Uh,
The
the
original
the
character?
the original one, yeah. I finally reached the final boss and killed it. Yeah.
Were you trying to make a certain deck with it, or did you just happen to beat the boss with what you had?
Happened to beat the boss with what I had.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Now I have to do the Watcher and then unlock whatever it's locked behind the doors.
Huh. I have yet to slay the spire.
Really?
Yeah, I played that
Yeah.
game for a while.
I've done like several times with the Watcher. I am having a hard time figuring out what route to use the deck for. I had one which was really funny because the Watcher had a deck route for unlimitedly using powers. So I would keep stacking powers over and over again, but it took too long to roll up. I would be like almost dead when I finally reached the greatest point of the deck form, whatever, and then ended up dying, which pissed me off because I'm like, come on, I got like 14 channeled lightning. Come on.
Yeah, that I feel like that all of the characters are so different from each other.
hmm
What was that character's name again?
The
The
Watcher.
defect?
Oh, the defect. My bad. The Watcher's the one with the freaking stances.
Oh, I haven't even tried the Watcher.
I have. She is so freaking confusing. It's just I don't want to play her. I don't like. She's difficult to use, but she is also very dangerous if you get the hang of her.
Have you tried any of the mods like that fucking Yu-Gi-Oh mod?
I haven't tried it yet. That was true, but I really do want to try it though. The Yu-Gi-Oh mod. How do you? Is it just like one of the daily mods, or what do you have to do?
I can send you a link to it.
Oh, okay.
It's officially not officially, but you get it through Steam. You don't have to do some weird thing on another site.
Alright, cool. Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah. So let's just wrap up this episode first, and then I could talk to you about it.
Okay, dokie.
Unless you had anything else to add.
No, I'm pretty good.
Me too. I've just been playing a little bit of Smash and Super Metroid. I've been playing my Switch a bunch lately, and I'm gonna play it a shitload more when Animal Crossing comes out.
Can't wait to see your island.
That sounds weird, but okay. Unless you just mean my island, right?
Yes, your island.
Okay, I'll show you my island sometime. All right. So that's about it for episode 6 of Peer Inward. Again, I'm John Sunyo, and thank you, Derek, for joining me again.
Always.
All right. Until next episode, thanks for listening, and good night.
See y'all.
All right. Fuck all you. All right. How do I do this? Oh, yeah.
Bye,
So, anyway,
Derek.
Steam has a